All meeting orders, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. From is not here right now. Gill?
Here.
Broker?
Here.
Judy?
Here.
Krieger? Here. Proctor?
Here.
5 present. Okay, approve the minutes of the August 13th meeting.
I move to approve. Second.
Motion by Gill, seconded by Broker to approve the minutes of the August 13th, 2024 City Council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any public comment tonight? No public comment. Okay, number 6, consideration of full-time paramedics for the Kiel ambulance service. Dave, you got a...
Yep. So the first thing I included were the minutes from the Police and Fire Committee meeting that was held on August 14th. As you can see, Alderperson Krieger was there as an interested party, as were the committee members Kathy Schutte, Jeremy Fromm, and the mayor, as well as myself. Assistant EMS Chief Paul and Chief Hennings were there from the fire department. Ambulance Director Isley appeared virtually. They did pass after a discussion and made a recommendation that we move to start the full-time paramedic staff instructor as soon as possible. One of the discussions we had was the financial impact. So if you look at the screen up there of how the health insurance, I was told to not use the terms worst case scenario, but highest cost scenario. That being that if all 4 of the full-time potential employees as paramedics all took the highest cost for insurance premium. So that first line, Common Ground is the one of the ETF's plans that's offered. It is the most expensive as a family plan. Excuse me. The monthly premium is $23.51, which per year is $28,212. Subtract the 15% that would be the employee's share of it. That comes out to $23,980. Multiply that by the 4 full-timers. That comes out to $95,921. So the monthly cost starting on October 1st, that's where the blue tab is. There would be none for October because there's a 30-day wait period, and then divided out, that $95,000 divided out comes to $79.93 for 2 months. So you're looking at roughly $16,000 to provide the full health insurance. Now that, again, being the highest cost scenario, if any of them opt out, there would be it would drop to $2,500, which is our opt-out option. Dropping down the Fund 900, that's showing the balances, the deposits have been made. If you look at the balance, for June, the account balance for the first 6 months at $222,472. I averaged that out by the average deposit, came out to roughly $37,078. Estimating July to December using that average would come out to $222,472.80. Adding the actual and the estimated, they'd be looking at the year-end total of $444,945. So clearly there's enough funding there to do what they want to do in terms of the health insurance concerns that were addressed. Assistant EMS Chief Paul provided EMS overtime estimates. They're averaging right now about $609 per week. So looking at that over a 14-week period starting on October 1st, they'd save approximately $8,500, $8,526 in overtime. So if you take that and the key points, as already noted, this is the highest cost scenario if all 4 full-timers were to take the family plan. We use Common Ground for demo purposes because they have the highest monthly premium. And then the potential savings of $8,500 for the 14 weeks remaining in 2024 would reduce the cost, the highest cost scenario, down to around $7,460. And that, again, is the highest cost scenario with all 4 employees taking health insurance. So the mayor thought that that document would be beneficial for everybody to review, so I cranked the numbers out and put them down there. And Chief, I don't know if either of you have any
The ambulance
questions?
service is doing well this year.
They are.
Financially,
Doing
very well.
Now, the 7460, where is that coming out of? Is that going?
That would be if you look back up to the monthly cost for the full FTs, okay, if you take that $8,500 from that total.
Yeah, no, I know where the number's coming from. Where is that?
That $7,460 would be the cost for the 2 months of the 4 full-timers taking insurance. That would come out of the Fund 900.
I'm sorry, you come out of the what?
That would come out of the ambulance fund.
Okay,
Yeah, all the costs for this, correct, would come out of the Fund 900.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of that, I essentially just wanted that on the record so that everybody knows that
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
costing the city anything.
I apologize, that should have been made clear from
Okay.
the start. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
It's coming out of the ambulance budget, so
Correct.
it affects, it
It's
does
not
not
coming out
affect
of
the
the general
city.
fund.
Correct.
No.
General fund is free and clear.
Yep,
Okay.
thank you. That should have been another key point. I assumed everybody knew that, but
So did we figure out a potential start date?
October 1st
October
is
1st.
the only realistic date that we could do it. After our meeting that day, I met with Katrina and Debbie, and Katrina's eyes got real big when I said we had talked about September 1st. The turnaround alone would be too difficult. If this is voted and approved on tonight, the next step for the EMS would be to get offers of employment out to all four of them, and then start working through Katrina as a clerk to get them onboarded
Okay,
and acclimated to the city staffing and everything else we'd have to do.
then I will
That would,
make,
I'm sorry, that would give us a good 4 weeks of, or more at this point, to get ready, which should be enough time.
then I will make the motion that we proceed with the offer for full-time paramedics for the Kiel Ambulance Service.
I will second.
October 1st, starting October 1st?
Starting October 1st.
Okay,
Roll call.
sure. Any further discussion? Just one further point of clarification. Next year, when this is in the budget, the per capita also went up to cover this cost. So we will have it covered next year.
The only reason this is being discussed is to move it from the January 1st proposed date up to the October 1st.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
To cover additional costs.
Yep.
For the last few months of the year.
It'll save the ambulance service significantly
Yeah.
Correct.
to up this up and maintain the staffings. As everybody knows, I know from my previous employee that staffing across the country for fire, EMS, and police are at critical levels and issues. So this is I fully support this. I think it's a good move for the city.
That would be November, December, right, just for insurance, I mean, so
Yep.
October would be.
Yeah.
October would be a wash. Yeah.
Right.
Like 2 months actually.
I think it's
Okay.
quite a compliment to the city that we have 4 full-time people that want to stay here and be part of this. And I can attest that they're very, very busy because I hear their sirens going off all the time.
Yeah.
I know they are very busy and they are very, very good at what they do.
Okay, any further discussion on this? Okay, we got a motion by Shudi and seconded by Gill to approve the, going to full-time paramedics for the Kiel Ambulance Service starting October 1st. And roll call from?
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker,
Yes.
Shudi,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Actor. Motion carries 6-0. Okay, number 7, consideration of temporary Class B retailer's license for St. Peter's United Church of Christ for their Oktoberfest event on September 21st.
Same as in years past, temporary Class B for their event in September.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Broker, seconded by Krieger to approve the temporary Class B retailer's license for St. Peter's United Church of Christ to Oktoberfest event on September 21st, 2024. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 8, consideration of local government action regarding historic properties in the city. I think I'll start this out, you may pitch in too, but I think we talked about the possibility of an offer to purchase for the Heinz House, where the Historical Society is located right now, and then to consolidate the city buildings, the Historical Society into the Stolping House. That is, the paperwork on that and the logistics is moving forward on that. One of the things that Gary researched was, if we do this, we have to submit an application to the State Historical Society because it is a historical structure, historic registered. And we, Dave and I put together the thing you have in your inboxes today regarding the historical property and what we have to do to document any changes to that building. So that's ready to go to the State Historical Society with your blessing and approval. We're still working on an offer to purchase.
Yeah,
They did an initial draft and offer to purchase, but there's been couple changes that we've had as we've been going through it, but, I think once if we get the state's blessing to move forward, then we can move forward with the offer to purchase, and, there's gonna have to be something called a conservation easement that the statutes require as well, so it's a little more complicated than a typical sale dealing with an historic property. But, like I said, we do have an initial draft and offer to purchase done. There's gonna be some right of first refusals that are going forward as well as part of it, but we have the documents at least in place, but we just need to get the state's blessing to move forward on everything.
Okay.
Just one question.
Yep.
They're going into the Stolting House, but doesn't the Stolting House also qualify as a historical structure?
No, it's not listed.
Could it be listed?
It could be,
It could be,
I mean, it qualifies.
it could be.
could be,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking that that might be something the Historical Society might want to look at
yeah.
down the road.
Has there been any opposition and/or discussion from the public?
None that we've heard.
Okay.
No, everything we've heard has been supportive of it,
Awesome.
overwhelming support from the Historical Society. Missy's been the point of contact for all that, and she has never mentioned anything negatively about it.
Okay.
Should this have been put forth to the public as a city asset available for purchase?
Well, it could have been, but we had a legitimate, offer from someone to negotiate to do this. And I guess we felt that, as long as someone was interested, we would hear them out and see if we could put a plan together, a deal together, and this is what came out of it.
Yeah, I have nothing against this, and I especially was fond of, reading that the potential buyer, had every intent in the world to maintain the historical integrity of the property. That was very, very good to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we would have, entered this if he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, his intent, what he's told us, is to create a historical Airbnb.
But of course, there's nothing binding there.
No, there would be,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And is that through the State Historical
Right,
Society?
because it's
It would be
registered.
mandated to,
It would stay listed.
okay.
And he's been made aware of that, and
Okay.
he's agreed to that verbally, and everything would have to be, it would be considered as part of the offer to purchase.
Okay.
But he knows that this is happening, that we're sending it to the State Historical Preservation Office for review and their blessing, and that was a condition of it.
I think this is also part of the efforts we have had over the last year and a half to generate funds, with our assets that the city of Kiel owns, so we can bolster our budget, so. Some of the funds are going to the,
And the offer that came in was fairly close to what the appraised value of the property currently is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another issue too, and I looked at that too, alderperson broker, but the part of the offer too is where the city's keeping the parking lot actually, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have just one afterthought, and we're probably all fine. With this being city property, is there some legal aspect that we would have to open that to the general public, or we can just go ahead with this particular public buyer?
Yeah, the city is free to sell
Free to
the
do.
property that they have. Certain
Awesome.
things do have to be bid out, but the property that the city is free to sell.
Okay. Just making clear.
And the council, just for complete transparency, when the mayor and I put this together, we wanted you to be aware of what every step of this process was. So there's little to any action you have to do, and anything regarding the specifics that we were required to submit this to State Historic Preservation, so we wanted to bring it forward to have your blessing on it.
And
And
I
then
won't-
there would still be a review of the offer to purchase, so this
Yeah.
council's gonna be
We-
involved in every step.
We'll talk about the offer to purchase probably at the next committee meeting, and get into those kind of details, but,
And I will go ahead and make the motion that the mayor and the city of Kiel is directed to go ahead and file the, historical, what is it, State of Wisconsin Historical to review the sale of the Heinz House. Does that cover it?
think so.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, motion by Shudi, second by Actor, to allow the mayor to file the paperwork regarding the sale of the historic property of the Heinz House in the city of Kiel. Let's go roll call from.
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Broker,
Yes.
Shudi,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
and Actor.
Yes.
6-0, motion carries.
Does this obligate them also, being listed on the historic places, to open that up for public viewing periodically?
No,
I don't know the answer to that question as to what their obligation is. Once they
I don't
own it.
believe so.
I'm not certain if they'd have to do that. The statutes, like I said earlier, refer to what's called a conservation easement. That has to be filed, so again, the buyer will have to be shown that before, and then we can bring that to the city council before as well, before that gets done. But I don't know if there's any requirements, not that I'm aware of, but I,
Can we find that out when they
yeah,
check that out?
we can find it out, but I don't believe that's
I
so.
don't believe so.
Yeah,
No,
no,
we have
I don't
other-
think so.
other
We have, there's
places.
other private properties that are listed in
yeah,
there.
because they would be,
They're
yeah,
not-
they would own the property at that
Right.
time.
We
Right.
couldn't get into the mill, I can tell you that. No, I think we're
I
just a
don't believe that's,
Yeah, probably.
private owner, there's no obligation for the owner. That I'm aware of.
okay. 9, consideration of appointing David Funkhauser, city administrator, to the Great Lakes Utilities Board of Directors, as an alternate for the city of Kiel.
It came from Chris August recommending every administrator we've had has been served as an alternate on the GLU board. And there's some other boards that I need to get onto, but this one is pending the quickest, so. I'm an
I'll
alternate.
motion to approve the appointing of Dave Funkhauser as the alternate to the Great Lakes Utilities Board of Directors for City of Kiel.
I'll second.
Is there discussion on this one? Motion by Broker, second by Gill, to allow appointing Dave Funkhauser, the city administrator, to the Great Lakes Utilities Board of Directors as an alternate for the city of Kiel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And number 10, adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Krieger, second by Fromm, to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.